Hello, people. I welcome you to the third episode of 50 Moods of Mind, a show where we discuss psychological aspects of your consciousness and guide you on how to work on them.
Okay, stop it. Don't overcomplicate them, Karishma. I will simplify it for you guys. Okay, so we are a duo, a counseling psychology final year student, Karishma, and I, a content creator. So we are going to just jump straight into today's topic, which is kind of a hot subject nowadays, and that is for all the right reasons. Today we are going to talk about mindfulness. Have you ever heard of this term? Great. If you have not, then don't worry. We are going to discuss what mindfulness is, how to manifest mindfulness in your life, and how you can benefit the psychological, biological, and social advantages of practicing mindfulness.
So, Shalin, tell me, I wanted to ask you here, as someone who doesn't exactly belong to the psychology field, how do you, as a layman, define mindfulness? Like, what pops up in your mind when I use the word mindfulness?
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be clear with my audience. I am not a layman, so we can get done with that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you please get on the question?
Sure. So, I believe that consciousness is the most mysterious and unsolved puzzle we humans have ever faced in our life. It's like air. Everyone has consciousness, which is the very reason you are listening to this podcast right now. On the other hand, still no one knows what it actually means, what it actually is. So now I like to take references from human histories whenever possible, because they are kind of the social structure that we live in right now. So back in the days when we were foragers and we lived in hunter tribes thousands of years ago, our only source of food was the animals that we chased and cooked. So this hunting required precision, as any hunting would. It required extreme attention, being aware of the surrounding. We were like that leopards and lions that we see today on National Geographic, focused and living in the moment, eyes on the prey. So after the agricultural revolution that took place like 12,000 years ago, we had the access to food just by planting seeds, and we used to look after them. So the difference in our food source played a major role. This is my belief, that the difference in our food source played a major role in altering our mindsets, So we started focusing more on the future. For example, I would say how to harvest more in future, how to yield more crops in future, how to manage watering the plants. Now, fast forward to the late 18th century, where our knowledge expanded and so did our greed for products and luxury and comfort, The very rise of industrial revolution in Europe and capitalism exacerbated the problem of, I would say, stress, anxiety and depression. The great market crisis of the 1930s, the two world wars, and these events led to an entire globe filled with the pandemic of mental illness everywhere. So now I feel is if you are living in the 21st century metropolitan lifestyle, you cannot exactly get away from certain stress-inducing events, Like, for example, social media will not stop showing you pictures of your best friend's wedding and his honeymoon to Europe. The news media will not stop ranting about the crashing economies and how China is trying to invade our lands at the border. You have a deadline as a student. You have a deadline as a corporate or as a business owner. You have your parents, your kids, your relationship partners that have expectations from you. And I'll say this out and loud. You cannot get away from these activities unless you leave the material world and become a monk and live in the Himalayas,
I think you should do that. You seem suitable to be a monk.
Really? I would think about it. I have the beard for that. So anyway, so the pressure and responsibilities, the regrets of past, the worries of future, these are the inevitable blows that we humans are facing since quite a while now. So now comes the solution part, mindfulness. So I personally define mindfulness as a state of supreme awareness, when you are fully conscious of what is going on and of inside your mind and the outside world. Mindfulness is when you are totally aware of the emotions that are running wild, be it sadness, fear, anger, or even happiness. So this is a practice where you are just aware of the emotions you are going through, not flowing away with the emotions. This gives you a razor sharp focus in whatever activity you're doing because you're living in the present. not in some fictional dystopian world that you have created from all your worries, or some fantasy heaven that you have manifested in your mind from your expectations. You are just being yourself, being realistic, accepting things as they are. I guess that is just mindfulness.
Oh, wow. You know quite a lot about the concept of mindfulness, which actually makes me really happy. It would be so good if everyone gets to know more about this concept, which is a really essential part of everyday life. Moreover, it has proven to help people suffering with anxiety and depression in dealing with their symptoms more effectively. But of course, it is done with the help of guidance of a mental health professional.
Wow, that's really nice. So, do you mean to say that I can practice mindfulness meditation only by going to a psychotherapist?
Okay. Here, I would like to tell you something. I would like to first clear all the myths related to it. First of all, meditation is definitely a part of mindfulness, or you can say a way to achieve mindfulness, but it does not mean that mindfulness equals meditation. Here is the crucial part. You can achieve mindfulness by anything. For example, even while you are listening to your boss in a meeting or while you are doing dishes at home, you can be mindful in that state of mind, so that all your focus and attention is on that activity itself and not anywhere else. This will help you in fully being in the present, physically as well as emotionally, such that you can concentrate more on what you're doing. When you start practicing mindfulness, your neural pathways get activated such that the attention span on a single stimulus increases. With regular practice of it, your neural pathways in the brain are rewired in such a way that your attention span increases over time. So you can concentrate on the activity that you're currently doing. All the students pay some attention to this.
You are already talking about focus and paying attention. The students are already paying attention, okay? So, an addition to this is that a research from Stanford University Neurology Department concluded that our five senses, that is touch, smell, hearing, sight, and taste. So, we consume 11 million bits worth of information, and our brain on an average focuses on only 60 bits per second. So, this bolsters the fact that we are subconscious most of the time. This subconsciousness leads to negativity. And the worst part is that we are not even aware about it. So, with so much information being bombarded on our subconscious mind, we are no longer able to channelize our emotions properly.
Yes, so there comes the emotional management part. Research has shown that practicing mindfulness daily can also help in emotion regulation and bodily awareness. Now, this in basic words means that when you practice mindfulness daily, you become more aware of your emotions and recognize them as they occur in various situations. Now, for example, if you meditate mindfully daily for some minutes of the day, you will be able to identify all the feelings and thoughts that you're getting and also start acknowledging those thoughts. You do not fight those feelings and instead be present with them in that moment. This will help you in situations where you're feeling very anxious or angry. For example, you will be able to regulate your body by recognizing that I'm feeling this emotion right now, and then calm your body down. We should keep in mind that mindfulness does not encourage the idea or promise that you will become like a monk who does not get angry, sad, or anxious over anything. But it is the process through which you will be able to become more aware of what you are experiencing in situations so that you can regulate your body accordingly. Now, this might help you from going from bad to worse in a situation because mostly in situations of anger or anxiety, people are not aware or connected to their body or their emotions. But if you are aware of your body and your emotions, it will help you de-escalate the situation and make it better for you for the time being so that you can then deal with it more effectively after some time. Now, mindfulness has been extensively used by mental health professionals to help people deal better with chronic stress in their life. For example, if I tell you, MBSRT is one such 8-week-long program. And practitioners also teach mindfulness techniques to their clients in therapy to help them deal better with symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Right, so I guess this is an approach for someone who's struggling with mental health issues. Seeking a professional is always an option. But what do you suggest for people who are facing these issues with their daily life, and also people who are already feeling strong to cope with the issues but just want to practice it anyway?
Now you know the old saying, you cannot go to the battleground and learn warfare. You need to practice it every day in order to show expert warfare skills in the battleground. So there are many apps like the Headspace app, the Mindfulness app, etc., which have guided mindfulness meditations which will help you start with mindfulness practicing. Now gradually, after becoming more attuned with it, you can practice it on your own. But it is surely a concept which, if incorporated in your daily life, can take you closer towards a healthier mind. Now you know the reason as to why practicing meditation regularly is so helpful to you, as all the yoga gurus teach you.
Look, at the end of our podcast, I'm not going to shy away and break the bubble on why I have fairly good background about mindfulness. So, I've been a patient of chronic depression and anxiety, and I was guided into this activity by the quote that as our body needs, a fair amount of physical activities or what we call as workout, so does our mind. So the practice of mindfulness is one such activity that sorts out the chaos. So it's like the disk defragmentation software. If you're an IT guy, you know what I mean. If you're not, then you can Google it by yourself.
They know they can Google terms they don't know, okay? You don't have to be over smart all the time. So alright guys, you can ignore Shalin, and on this note, we bid farewell. So practice mindfulness on your own, write us your experiences in the comment box below, and if you like this episode, then don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. We will get talking in episode 4. Till then, bye.